Well, build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance that's buried in his eye. Well, he gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and a long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I drown my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Quick Bang. We're a wee bit late getting this recorded this week, just due to life happening, etc. Joined by Kaiser Soze. Kaiser, how are you doing?
Good, mate. How are you?
All good, mate. And our dog hero, Leon. So, Leon, I don't know if you want to say what happened or if you're...
No, talk about it was... I've got to put it on social media, but they want to, like, put things on and be able to be like, oh, well done, thinking you're doing it for that reason, because I really am there. Long story short, there's a woman in a Bairn getting attacked in Alsatian today, Bairn autism, and I ran over and helped and fought the dog and taken a few bites and I got told I was a bit of a hero for what I've done. And so that was it mainly. It's been quite a day.
Top
Most
man.
things I'm doing and fucking I'm doing.
Top man. There's loads of folk with run away at Alsatian attacking them, so
you've
done a good job there.
It was just, like I said, everybody was a bit shocked what was happening, and I was just, loads of other folk would have went in, but I was just the first to get in reality, and I was trying to get the dog to attack me and stop attacking the bear, to be honest. But it was good enough that day. I earned my beer in the night, put it that way.
That's why I always carry a packet of sausages with me, just in case that happens. Kind of like ones so you can just distract loads of animals with it. I'd recommend it. Just keep a packet in your pocket. So folk waiting for a punchline to that story as well, but that's legitimately true.
This is a true story. Everybody that texted about it, literally, even on your group chat, everybody's like, where's the punchline? And I'm like, no, this is a legit thing.
Aye, well, fantastic. We're all very proud of you, mate.
Aye, cheers.
Right, Hibs 2, St Mirren 2. Kaiser, do you want to start us off? What do you think about the game?
Right, so first half, I think Hibs at home this season have been guilty of this kind of a flat first half performance, and they definitely didn't disappoint yesterday. It was very flat. I don't know if it's the formation or it just looked like we couldn't get things going. We couldn't find our rhythm. We couldn't get in it. Second half, with Alan coming on, there was a difference. It was a bit more purpose going forward, and we looked like what I got to do them. Obviously, we equalised, and then through the penalty. Was it the penalty we equalised for? No, we equalised with. Let me get this right. So we equalised with McGinn. What do you call him, McGinn? Mm-hmm. And then we went 2-2 with the penalty. No, we went 2-1 with the penalty, didn't we?
Yeah.
So 2-1 with the penalty. I think the penalty was brilliant. With Pochas, I think he done exactly what he wanted to do there, and he absolutely infuriated the boys, and it was brilliant to watch. It was really good to watch. But with Alan, Alan was good when he came on. The weighted pass that he done was quality. I think he had a hand in the second goal for St Mirren. I think he should have blocked the run, and I think Doig was daydreaming a wee bit. And I think it was, yet again with Hibs, I think it was points dropped again. I don't think it was, I think that game was yours to be had, and I think that sit-back approach that we took cost us. I think we should have went for the third again, and we've been here before. And I think it's just because of the other kind of games have fell in our favour that it's not totally terrible as we look at the table just now.
What were you, Leon? What was your take on it?
I took my daughter, so I spent a lot of time back and forth to the toilet. But the time it was frustrating. It was definitely frustrating. First half, we had none about us. I felt really there's no, like you said, there's a bit of lull with them now at home, and we've not got these. We had this spell in the second half, and after we went behind and stuff for the 20 minutes or whatever, we pulled it back, and if they played like that for another 10 minutes, we'd have probably got another couple of goals, because St Mirren couldn't deal with us when we were doing that. But for some reason, I reckon if the balance just isn't right with some of the players, and it's hard to put my finger on it, because the players are there, the squad's there, the the starting 11 is strong. We talk about replacements and obviously there's a lot of chat about is Nisbet is he falling away a wee bit because there's no competition for his position. I don't know if it's maybe all the international stuff that he's dealing with now, playing international, and obviously he was a championship player a couple of seasons ago, so is that maybe catching up on him a wee bit that he's now at Hibs as well. The expectations are to perform every single week. Obviously, you get that chat for the old firm, but even at Hibs and even at Hearts and that, you came with the pressures like a couple of and it gets played down a wee bit, but it's there. And I just don't know if he's up to that at the moment. And he'll get better, but I just thought the game it came and went. And like I said, we had that spell in between when we got the 2 goals, but when they scored the equaliser, we seen it coming. Like I was like, I never seen the equaliser coming, but I was like, they're well in this. St Mirren are still well in this, and they were value for a point. Again, they were well valued for a point. Jim Goodwin was pissed off with Porteous and that, but I was like, he'd be delighted if his player won a. If it was a penalty, it was 100. It was there was no way you could get about it. The rugby tackled on me.
What do you think of a manager making comments like that about another team's player?
It's embarrassing. It shows him to be an ex-player. You know what I mean? Like, I think in 10 years he probably wouldn't do that as a manager. Again, in the next 5-10 years, his career as a manager. I think when you got the emotions and start moaning about an individual and he's good at winning things and he's good at doing this and being particular about one individual, it's like, why would you do that? Again, just talk about your own team.
Yep.
If a player's maybe been sent off or caused a bad challenge, and one of your players injured a player, you talk about that, saying I was a reckless challenge, blah blah blah. But when you're talking, you're trying to get into a mindset because I know who was it? Did it not happen last season? It was with Martin Boyle.
Yogi did it with Boyle.
Boyle last season, and it was like folk were making comments about him diving and this and that, and then all of a sudden you've seen it. You've seen him getting taken out in games, and the referees were having that split-second decision, thinking, "Wait a minute, is he diving again?" Because everybody's telling me he's diving, so he must be. And it's just that it's poor. It's pretty poor. Like I wasn't impressed, and I'm impressed with Goodwin what he's done. I talked to a few folk on Twitter about it, and I think he's done a brilliant job at St Mirren. He's done a great job. They should have been in the top 6 last year. They were really, really good. Aye. But comments like that, you're like, you can see he's still got that wee niggle about him that he's like the player, was he? Kicking folk and that wee bit of anger, and it is what it is, eh? But it's not very good.
It was definitely a penalty, too, like Kaiser. It wasn't. So Porteous has made sure the referee's seen it, and he's probably like, how would you describe it? He's not tricked the boy into pulling him down, but he's got inside the boy's head, and the boy's wrestled him. You couldn't like. It was a clear penalty. Would you agree, or would you have a different opinion?
It was a blatant penalty. It was brilliant, but he done exactly what he wanted to do. He wound him right up, and you see that with Porteous. You get a lot of other kind of our fans criticising him about how he kind of goes about it, but he's a no-nonsense centre back. He goes right for it, and he loves it. You can tell he loves his job. You can tell he loves putting a tackle on. You can tell he loves riling people up, and that's what you want to have. You want to see that character coming through, because especially if you get the cause effect being a penalty. And as I said, see defensively with Hibs, we're decent. A couple of times we're going to get caught out and stuff like that, but we're not a bomb scare at the back. You're quite happy to see a team counter you, because 9 times out of 10, either the centre backs will catch it, or Matt Macy's going to catch it.
Apart from their first goal yesterday, which was
I know
which was a counter attack where our centre half did the catch it. Macy
I know, but I think even with Macy, I think Macy was a bit disappointed with that save as well. I don't know. I watched that a couple of times and just thought, he could have maybe done better there. I think with St Mirren, they're saying about Goodwin there. I think the 60 minutes changed the changes that they put on the subs. I think that's really what changed the game. And I think Goodwin's got to get a bit of credit there. That Tanzer as well, he was brilliant all game. Like, he stood out for me when you were watching it, trying to pick a Hibs player out, and you just kept seeing Tanzer, his delivery, and just kind of the control he had of the game, I thought was outstanding, considering they were away from him and they should have been against it.
Aye, was it Curtis Main? He came on as well. I think we started to feel that the centre half struggled a bit more with that physical presence coming in, because I think they put him on handling, and you'd be personally speaking, I'd be more comfortable with Porteous up against Curtis Main than Hanlon. Know that Hanlon's not a strong player, because he is, but you saw that it was like a right tussle that they were having, and we started to kind of feel like a bit more under pressure for crosses coming into the box. I think they hit the bar with one, and then the boy got called offside. Fuck knows how he got called offside, because I think he was even close to being offside, but okay, that went in our favour. Leon, Martin Boyle scored, in inverted commas, of a goal that Porteous should have had, which then got chopped off. What would you be saying to Martin Boyle in the dressing room after that?
Well, what can you say? It's when I didn't even see that. I didn't see the touch. So when he scored, I was like, I was like, go score, blah. And it was like, and everybody was like, certainly in the next minute, and they stopped there. And everybody's like, what's going on here? And I was because I'm at the far end of the east where the away fans are. I was, I'd never seen the touch. I never seen him coming. I just thought, I was like, brilliant header. The Porteous, I was like, brilliant header. Directed it brilliantly. The keeper wasn't getting it anyway. And obviously he's came in the touch, and I was like, what are you doing? And don't get me wrong, he's on form, He's on absolute form, scoring form. Him and he's just like, bang, I'm reaching that, I'm scoring. Okay, and that's fair enough. But you've got to watch them go in, Okay, what I mean?
Aye.
You watch them go in and wait for the off the post, or if you think it's at this last second it's gone wide, then you put it in. Then he just rush in and smash it in. I totally get it, but okay,
do you not think this season that we've got a bit of dramas with offsides? So I've noticed it with Nisbet. Same with Boyle. I know Boyle should have fucking left that, but see with Nisbet, I've noticed Nisbet just floating offside more often than not. This season, loads and loads, and you look at it and you're like, it's a cause for concern, that.
I've shouted the loads. I've screamed at the telly and screamed in the ground about being offside, because it is like simple offsides as well. It's not even like just marginally. It's like lazy offsides at times, and it's frustrating as anything.
I wonder. So I watched this bit yesterday, and he was getting frustrated loads through the game at not getting the ball. First half, especially, because I was sort of in behind the away fans. Nisbet was making some decent moves into space, and then when the ball wasn't coming at him, he was getting the big fucking arms going up in the air and all the rest of it. And I wonder if sometimes like his offsides are coming because he's making those runs, the ball's not coming at him, or it's getting to him late, and by that point he's out of position. But he needs to be telling the midfielders then, or timing his runs better. Ken, it's one of these ones that he can't just moan and then be offside. You need to. His job is to go and change that.
They're playing with these players and training with these players all the time, so you should ken that. Like that's even on the training ground. His run, they should ken he's going to make that run. He should ken they're not going to make that pass unless he's in position. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like he should. It should be a bit more fluent between them all. But it's just I think he struggles on his end up there. Like not all the time, but I think he's so much better with a partner.
Yeah.
Like he does do the target man thing. He can, but although he's a big, strong, big laddie, he is a poacher. He is I want to take a touch, put a touch and shoot, kind of like open up his space for the sell and shoot. He's not I'm going to hug it up, all the play and bring it in, and he does do that, but he's not doing that all game. He's not his mind. He's what to come off things. He's what to attack cross balls. He's what to attack balls at the box. And I feel like when he is up there and he does get like isolated, it doesn't work for him.
I'd agree with that. Kaiser, what about the finish with Paul McGinn?
I think it's brilliant. I think the criticism that he's had, especially after a particular jambo that's kind of batted up back against him, I think he's kind of his own show now. I think Hibs, we've given him a bit of criticism for kind of being week in, week out a 7 out of 10, and I think he's starting to come on a game. I think being selected internationally, and then I think his performance is up to a bit. I think he's done well with Scotland, and I think he's a brilliant player for us, especially have the confidence to come up and finish a ball like that. It's top class for a right back to do things like that. He's overshadowing he's overshadowing Doig on the left. Do you know what I mean? So you're looking at him now for the performance rather than our Dougie tripod. Aye.
What do you think about the Scott Allen question? So Scott Allen came on, changed the game in our favour second half. Jack Ross doesn't seem to want to start him. Was going to move him on to St Mirren. Where do you stand on Scott Allen?
I think Hibs have got a formation problem now, and I think it stems from the players we've got, like your 3-5-2 we seem to work with getting Cadden. I think I said that before on Quick Lang about Cadden, Nisbet and Boyle being in the team. And then you look at Alan and you go, where can you slot in? And for me, he could probably slot in like on like a left wing position, see, like to get the best out of him. But I don't know if it's. I know a lot of people shout about Alan and his quality, but there must be a reason why he's not playing week in, week out. And I know there's been health issues with him. I don't think it'll be performance related, but I don't know if there's a mix between us still trying to find our best formation, how to fit players in, and then you look at Alan and go, if Alan's only place to me where I can see him fitting in maybe the left wing, and if we've got a fully fit Jamie Murphy, I would rather have Murphy on than Alan. And I know a lot of people would disagree with that, but Alan's just been far too hot and cold for me.
Aye, what about you, Leon?
Aye, what Kaiser said, on with him. I think it's a formation thing. I think he came on and he done brilliant for the 20-minute spell we were on top. But when St Mirren were coming back into it, his frailties were shown for me a wee bit. I think Scotland's a great player. He's been great for Hibs. I hate saying, I feel like it's like blasphemy with him sometimes when you say bad things. With Hibs support, it's like you can't say anything bad about him.
Aye.
And I'm like, but you've got to feel the second goal. He could have. I'm not saying he on his own could have prevented it.
He could have blocked the run.
Aye, he could have done a wee bit more, and maybe I'd stopped it. I felt Doig footwork and playing about Doig and how he was playing when Alan was on the park, but Doig wasn't getting any cover for Scott Allen. So the lad he was doing that left on his own because Scott was coming inside all the time, which is where he's what he be and where he finds himself on the park. Naturally in his mind, he's always going to come central. You know what I mean? Because that's when I open the space up. But aye, it's a total formation hang. It's a total the way Jack Ross wants Hibs to play in his teams. And at the end of the day, he's a manager, and if he wants to set a side up and that he thinks it's the way he's going to win a match, fair dues. I'd love him to find the formation to put Scott Allen in, but I think you're going to lose a better player to make the formation work to fit an Allen in, if that makes sense. So, you know what I mean? Like putting Allen in to cover for somebody else just to get him in the park is going to fuck your formation for me. And the strengths that formation gives.
You're right, because the formation and the system that Ross like his go-to relies on folk doing specific jobs, and Scott Allen doesn't do everything out of those jobs. So the stuff so we had a wee technical issue there, so we'll just leave the Scott Allen chat there. We're back reconnected now. Leon, I'll come to you next. We wanted to, or we didn't want to, we conceded late in the first half, late in the second half. What do you put that down to?
I don't know. I mean, the first goal, when they scored the first goal, I mean, I know that we won in it, St Mirren were playing quite good in that. But for me, I still feel it did come out anywhere. Like, when they scored, I didn't think it was just a disbelief that, like, because we were at, just so you're at home and you're like, when an away team scores you, if you're not getting hammered by them and they score, you're like, oh, shit, they've just scored. Right? And it was like a wee bit like that in my mind, that goal, right? And then obviously the equaliser, I didn't always say I've seen it coming because I never seen it coming, right? They weren't getting back into the game. But I was like, it's going to be like that. They're going to chuck everything at us. We've got to see it out. We'll get the 2-1 win. We might even break and score and make it 3-1. But when they scored that, obviously, I was like, fucking what's going on? Again, like you said, late in the first half, late in the second half. I think, I didn't care what you can put it down to. It's poor, though. Really, really poor. The amount of teams I've seen, especially like St Johnstone, they honestly got under my skin a couple of times, honestly. They come to that, they come to Easter Road, and the amount of last minute equalisers and things like that, it drives me mental. And we've got this, it's the same, the problem we've got is not the problem. Paul Hanlon, Porteous and that, I think sometimes that kind of stuff can get driven into your mind. Again, like, you can be time counting and watching the clock and stuff like that. And I think, like, is it maybe like when it gets to late on in games, does the panic in the rain cell or the record kind of set in? And I don't know, but he's going to have to put his finger on it because if it keeps happening, it's a problem, a real problem.
What about you, Kaiser?
I agree with about the first goal being not anywhere, but being quite surprising. But I think with the second goal as well, I think that was down to us being very defensive minded rather than try to kill the game off. And we've seen that with Dundee as well. We should have went to kill the game. We should have threw everything at them. We should have maybe, I don't know. I think it is to do with game management. I think it's how the attitude went. We are playing for you can't do that in football. You can't just have a goal advantage, especially having the character to come back after 1-0 down just before half time. You imagine going in there at half time, your head would be down, you would be pissed off. To come back out and get 2-1 back up, and then I'm not going to see the easiest bit because the majority of goals get scored at the death, but the game management at the end of it to start kind of try to be more defensive minded instead of just going for it, attacking it and trying to kill the game off. I think that's what Hibs are doing wrong, and I think they need to do something about it because we can't rely on playing for 30-40 minutes with a goal down and hoping we can just play counter-attacking football and play with our back to the goal, because I think that's going to cost us draws and we need wins now just by how tight it is at the top of the table.
Aye, definitely. So the draw saw us stay unbeaten for the season so far. It's at 5 or 6 games in, sitting second in the league. So after Rangers and Motherwell drew the day, actually Motherwell were much closer to the top teams as well than I expected. Celtic getting beat. Aye. Mental Celtic getting beat was a bit of a surprise as well. So I think it shows that there's no easy games in the league this season, eh?
No. I think we were all mopping and moaning about the should have beat Dundee's, should have beat St Mirren's, but then other teams are again. It's like other teams are drawn. We're all drawing. We're winning. We've got like Hearts, Hibs, Rangers, even like you said Motherwell. If Motherwell had won the day, which could have happened.
Yeah.
They could have went top, and then everybody would have been talking about them. But their start to the season, not about Hibs and Hearts, and it's a tight league. The teams are a lot closer than what folk think. I think over the spread, it should obviously we were a wee bit disappointed with the transfer window, about the depth of the squad in certain areas. I think if Hibs had like go that sorted, we could have maybe moved on and maybe been a bit stronger. But I feel like a squad like Hibs, if they keep it as is and keep it, the better players will show through over time, like over the length of the season, compared to the other sides. But it's everybody's competing against each other. But it's a very, very, it's always a tight league outside of Rangers Celtic. Anybody on their day can beat anybody.
Aye. And final word, I suppose, on the big screens. What did you think of them, Kaiser? What did you make of the big screens, etc., that have been installed? Making a difference?
The only thing that I want to see in the corners of Easter Road is the fucking seats. The corners filled in. That's the only thing that I've dreamt about for being a wee boy, is seeing the corners getting filled in with seats. But obviously, you need the fucking fans here to sit on the seats when we get them in right enough. But no, they look good. They're impressive, and it's just another sign of progression for the Hibs. And as I say, you can say a lot about the style of football, the manager, the players that we're bringing in, the players that have managed to keep a holiday. That seasons gone by, we wouldn't be able to do that. It's just yet another kind of a sign of progression. It might be a bit long-winded to tie them together, but it's a sign of things being good. It's a sign of us having money in the bank and being able to do things like that, and it can't be a bad thing.
What about you, Leon? You had your daughter there. Did she like them?
It was brilliant. She loves it. She had the tablet in front of her face, so she wouldn't really want it. But we had honestly, I was really impressed with the screens, and I felt obviously they turned the volume up a wee bit on the sound and the speakers when they were talking, and you could feel. I mean, the guy Mark that's the next day, good Hibs guy. He's we had chat and that, and we were loving to shout because we couldn't hear each other talk. And I was like, I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that, because it takes the atmosphere up, it takes the noise up, it's the pre-match stuff, and putting on old Hibs goals, things like that. I can't wait to like the Derby, the Rangers and Celtic games. I hope they have put a wee videos up to wind the away fans up, things like that. I think that'll get folk laughing and a good crack. But and they could be really, really like good with that if they thought about it and done it right, winding the away fans up. But nah, brilliant, minted. They're class, like really, really good quality. Again, I didn't know what to expect, but when I actually seen them up close, I was like, because I'm really, where I sit in the stand, I'm very close to the side one, and they come to the side, and honestly, it was really clear, really good picture.
I thought they were going to be a big anticlimax. See, I've honestly seen when folks started making a fuss about them, I'm like, fuck, folk are going to be disappointed seeing when they actually go in. But I was like, fucking hell, they look smart as anything. Well, I was thinking, see when it's a nighttime game, like you're talking about the Derby, so kind of the Derby's, the next one's in January, so it's probably going to be quite dull, dark anyway, and they're that bright and colourful and they're really vibrant. It's going to look fucking amazing, I think, like it really, really pops. So
hope they put the best goals against Hearts on, and like winning the Scottish Cup things and that. So I said that to the boy I sit next to, I was like, they showed obviously the Hibs win the Scottish Cup and all that. I was like, I'll watch that every week.
Aye.
Every single week. Pin it up every week. That'll get me pumped for the game every single week. No bother.
We get the Rangers TV commentary on it next time they show it. It's
Oh,
probably somebody
honestly.
going, "Oh no!" at the end.
What's the goalie day and all that kind of thing, honestly. If you make like a wee compilation, it would be outstanding, honestly. It'd be brilliant. And it would get them proper welled up as well. It'd be brilliant.
Aye, that's what you want. Cool, right, guys. Thanks very much for taking time on a Sunday evening as well. I appreciate it. I kind of wasn't available yesterday, so and Leon, once again, well done for
Aye, cheers, mate.
kicking shit out of Big Doug,
Me.
a big dangerous Doug.
The dog kicked the shit out of me, trust me. I'm just making sure there's a king shit out of the bin.
Aye, good man. Like I say, we're really proud of you for it. Thanks very much for watching. We'll catch you next time.
County line, I pledged upon. Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink what I know.